All right, what's shaking YouTubeites? Welcome into the CoverPrice Shakers of the Week for the week ending, I don't know, October 23rd, 2024. While you all are congregating, here's a quick little DJ Lady style.
I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with your body. I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with your body. I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with your body. I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with your body.
That's a quick one, but it's a good one. It's one of my favorites. So, guys, welcome in. We do not have Marty tonight. We'll hopefully have him back by Tuesday. But we got Lando, we got Chris. Chris has a special surprise for you, too. So, it's going to be a good show. Let's do a quick round table. We'll start with Lando.
What's going on, everybody? It's Thursday. I love Thursdays because I get to hang with you guys, and we're one day closer to the weekend, which I can't wait, guys. Work's killing me. But you spoke New York Comic Con. Yes, we have some special stuff that's going to take place tonight. I won't get into it. Chris will fill you guys in with that. But tonight's list, oh, it's a spicy one. There's going to be one from New York Comic Con. Yeah, that Chris, we can only hope. Lead the way. Go.
Yeah.
Guys, it's Thursday, and you know what that means. It means that we are here to celebrate our joint love of comic books, and we're going to miss Marty. I'm sick also, so I'm going to try to get through it as best as I can. But, hey, we got a great list. This is not an offer list. You have the chance to get on the board this time. This is a great list. And at the halfway point, I got a nice surprise. I managed to get one of these sealed, right? Yeah. So these are going for like $300 right now, sealed right now on eBay. And there's a lot of really good comics in here. So we'll talk about that at the halfway point when I do the call to action. Normally, we're going to open that up. So I'm really excited to share that with you. And I just want to say, I love you guys, but I feel the need to see other people.
Jesus.
Did we just get dumped live?
Yeah, we did.
I feel like we did. All right, yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. I'm hoping you get a red foil in there, but time will tell, right? We'll see. Yeah. Let's just dive right in because, like I said, Chris is being a trooper tonight. He's not feeling great, but he's here anyway because we look forward to this every week. If you are just joining, welcome. This is the Shaker Show. This list comes from our friends at CoverPrice, focusing on new high sales or the most interesting sales found on their exclusive daily Shaker list. This list changes several times every day, so make sure to check it out to review some of the hottest trending books in the market. What do we have for Shaker number one?
I'll kick it off. First one on the list, guys. Adam, Legend of the Blue Marvel number 3. Sure, it's not number 1, it's number 3, Marvel 2009. Blue Marvel, also known as Adam Brashear, is a Marvel Comics superhero created by Kevin Grevioux. A former Marine and a brilliant scientist, Adam gained superhuman abilities after a scientific experiment involving antimatter. He possesses immense strength, speed, and energy manipulation capabilities, making him one of the most formidable heroes in the Marvel Universe. Adam hasn't made an on-screen debut in the MCU yet, but many fans are speculating that it's only a matter of time. Blue Marvel is often credited as one of the best examples of diverse characters being developed into a fan favorite without having to co-opt the legacy of an existing character. Blue Marvel has continued to make appearances across the Marvel Universe, including being a part of the Ultimates team. All 5 issues that form the limited series are hard to come by due to the low print demand and the high interest in the character. Issue 3 recently sold for $360 in a CGC 98, and that's impressive. Guys, it is very true. Like, I've seen the number 1 so many times, although it's scarce and commands a good coin. This one, issue 3, I almost never have seen in person.
I don't think I ever have, and I like the character. I like when you kind of combine brains with, brawn.
Yeah.
Brawn?
Yeah.
Is that whatever. I like that he's so smart. I think he went to like Cornell or something. Yeah.
Okay.
He did. I swear he did.
Ivy League schools, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is interesting. It's not a variant. It's not that old.
Yeah.
2009. I mean, it's number 3. I mean, maybe that's something to do with it because this character wasn't that big in the early 2000s. I mean, I would even go on to say that the character's not really that big right now. Honestly, I completely forgot that Blue Marvel was a character until he appeared in the Marvel Snap game that I play on my phone. He just gives +1 to every card on the board. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's interesting to see where this goes.
Yeah, the spec though related to the character, like everybody was expecting him to show up in the MCU, whether it be like a Captain Marvel movie, like literally every movie that was being brought up. Everybody was like, yeah, Blue Marvel's going to make his appearance. And up until now, we haven't seen that. So, does this have a higher ceiling? I think so. I think if we do see him within the MCU, we might see a little bit of a pop. But this sale, rather interesting for me. CGC 98, 350. And like I said, I've seen more number 1s than I have number 3. So
Who would you cast as Adam Brasher?
oh.
Man, I can't think of anything. Like maybe like a younger Denzel Washington would have worked.
What? Who's a younger Denzel? I'm trying to think.
How about Donald Glover?
I don't mind that. That's a good one.
Put some meat on him, and
you would have to bulk him up, yeah, for sure.
I mean, they bulked up Tobey Maguire. They can do
it. That's very true. All right,
okay.
Very cool. Guys, first shaker of the night, if you are just hopping in, Adam Legend of the Blue Marvel number 3. This came out in 2009, and we have a 9.8 coming in at $350. Not too shabby. What do we have for shaker 2?
Shaker 2, we have Geiger number 1, the second print Gary Frank ratio, 1 in 25. Image Comics in 2021.
Yeah.
With 2024 creation of the Ghost Machine imprint under Image Comics, it appears readers are heading back to the original iteration of the unnamed universe to enjoy the adventures of Geiger, Junkyard Joe, and the rest of the gang. Sporting an all-star cast of creators, including Jeff Johns from Green Lantern, Action Comics, and Batman 3 Joker fame, and Gary Frank from Action Comics and Doomsday Clock. Geiger hit shelves originally in 2021 and was extremely popular for its time. This creative team had been responsible for a number of great stories at DC for over the entirety of the 2010 decade. So it should come as no surprise that these books continue to hold onto that popularity and value. This week, a near mint raw copy of the second print, the 1 in 25 variant of Geiger number 1, hit an all-time high of $111, going for over double its previous high of $50. And that 50 was twice the ratio. Variants of multiple printings can dry up in a hurry, but there's little doubt that the large jump in the sale price of this book is due to the enormous popularity of the Ghost Machine imprint, and maybe Frank's killer cover as well. As soon as these titles hit the shelves, resale prices of the original Geiger run began to slowly increase. And the sales data at CoverPrice reflects that with every book in the series, with an uptick in 2024. With the reception of this new imprint and the popularity of these new titles, that trend could continue for the foreseeable future. This is interesting. It's almost like we have this sleeper title that has this organic growth. It's not tied to a TV show or a movie. It's only tied to what's happening in the industry, and that's the revisioning of the unknown universe. I think this is really interesting. I'll be interested to see where this goes. I haven't read this, and I haven't
You
read
haven't
these.
read Geiger? Oh my God,
No, I
it's
haven't.
so good. This was on the list a lot when it first came out. We covered this a lot because the talk and the spec behind this getting option was so big, and it
Yeah.
was warranted. This is a really moving, powerful story. Oh, I don't want to give too much away, but it's post-apocalyptic. The main character here had cancer, and so he's trying to like deal with that while wandering through like this destroyed version of the earth, and it's really powerful. I think that this would be optioned in a minute, but that was a while ago, so I'm surprised. I mean, we're talking 3 years ago. I thought it would be done by now.
Yeah.
I'll,
But
I'll definitely look it up. I mean, I like those kinds of stories. So
yeah,
Yeah, it's solid. I remember when this came out. I loved it. It was good.
Geiger's great, but guys, the Ghost Machine universe in general, everything happening Ghost Machine has been
Mhm.
banger after banger. We're recently getting the Rockefellers. We've had Rook, Exodus, we've had Redcoat. There's so much happening related to this. I put all the Ghost Machine stuff up there with the Energon universe when it comes to the indie titles right now. They both have great universes being built. And like you said, yes, there's the potential of these being optioned for sure. But throw all that aside for the sake of Reed, guys. It's just incredible. I really encourage everybody to get familiar with the Ghost Machine stuff. Lefteros, thank you for confirming that it is optioned. But like I said, besides the points, great read. The second printing, I'm not surprised to see pop, guys. A lot of people were sleeping on Geiger when it first came out, right? Because it was the first title to come out of this, and
I
nobody
mean,
was thinking.
honestly, I don't think so. I think that this was actually pretty on everybody's radar. When this first dropped, everybody knew it was going to be something. We just weren't sure. And then once people started reading, they were like, okay, holy
I'm
shit.
gonna tell you honestly, Laura, in like my LCSs here, majority of them, I knew two of them that actually cared about learning about Geiger. Like nobody else really cared. So
I guess maybe I'm more of an indie person though, so that might be why I'm like, yes, you
yeah,
know.
and
But yeah, this is a good
I've
time.
kind of grown into more of an indie reader myself. I mean, I wasn't back, a decade ago, and I had a big gap in reading comics, like everybody does every now and then. But I mean, this sounds like a great story. I'll definitely read up on it. I'll put it on my list of reads for this week, and I'll get caught up. And yeah, I'd be happy to talk about it.
I'm
Dude, I
gonna
would
warn you,
love it.
you're gonna fall into a rabbit hole because you're gonna fall in love with the whole Ghost Machine stuff. So
That's good.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
good.
And also, just so everybody knows, getting optioned doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get a TV or a movie property deal. A
Yeah.
lot of movie studios are optioning intellectual properties to reserve the option for it.
Yeah.
That's why they call it an option. So
That's why
even
I'm
though
waiting
something gets
for
optioned,
Reborn
doesn't mean that there's
years.
anything being produced.
Yep,
Mm.
exactly.
Yeah, I think most of us are kind of like, we kind of know like you have to tiptoe around these things. Something is killing the children went really fast compared to all these other proproperties that kind of sometimes just sit there in purgatory for years. But
Yeah,
this is a good one.
And you could also have something that is just the studio makes it and then shelves it, like they did with Batgirl, or they make it and it's terrible direct to TV, like the original Vampirella movie from 1996.
Yeah.
So
This one, I hope to God this happens. Like, I think Tariq would be played really well by Keanu Reeves. I'm
yeah.
excited about this. It's cool to see this back on the list yet again. All right, there you go, guys. Second shaker of the night, Geiger number 1, Gary Frank, second printing. This is the 1 in 25 from Image back in 2021 with a raw near mint sale coming in at $111. And like Landa was saying, pay attention to these Ghost Machine titles. They're starting to get some well-deserved respect, right?
Yep.
All right, what do we have for shaker number 3?
Number 3 brings us Kick-Ass number 1, Steve McNiven, 1 in 10 ratio by Marvel in 2008. Mark Miller's Miller World has done quite well over the last 20 years, spawning nearly 50 titles and several film and TV adaptations. After being published by Image Comics, not Marvel, almost a decade, it found a home at Dark Horse Comics this year. Kick-Ass was the second Miller World property to be adapted on the big screen and was optioned before a single issue was released. The movie earned nearly 100 million at the box office and was hailed for its bloody violence and profanity, which no doubt paved the way for comics like The Boys and Invincible to be adapted. There have been rumors of a Kick-Ass reboot, with director Matthew Vaughn going as far as to say they are in production on a new trilogy related to the franchise. When we last discussed this book in December 2023, a graded 9.8 sold for $200, but nearly 1 year later, that price has more than doubled with a sale of $500 this week.
Damn!
Big damn! We may never see this version of Kick-Ass on the big screen again, but this book will always be a key first appearance with a great cover. And I couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. This book, yeah, I wish I even had the opportunity to pick up this 1 in 10. Back 2008, I was not collecting as hardcore as I should have been, but great book to have. Kick-Ass 1. I don't own a copy, and it's a book that I keep kicking my own ass for not having in my collection. But yeah, I hope we do get that reboot, or like we just said, that they're going to be bringing it back. I would love to see that, especially with today's time, right?
Who's your Kick-Ass if they do a reboot?
Oh.
I'm thinking
you guys are stumping me with these.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking Jacob Bertrand. He plays Hawk in the Cobra Kai TV show.
Oh yes, I know who you're talking about.
He would be awesome.
I watched that. That's an interesting pick.
Yeah,
I like him. That works. He has enough edge to him, and it's believable that he's a badass, but he's not like super, super bulky.
Yeah. And he knows, he's got martial arts background, so
That's true. That would help.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, I actually walked out of the Kick-Ass movie.
What? Oh, well, look, was it because of the McLovin casting, or?
No, I was like pregnant and emotional, and I was like, I can't do it. So I walked out. I'm like, I couldn't handle it.
She was emotionally mad at Nick Cage, and she's like, I'm not watching him on the screen.
It was a lot like that. This is a very intense series. People that are like, oh, comic books are for kids. It's like, read Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
Then talk to me.
So you're blaming it on your kid. You're blaming it on being pregnant. That's why you walked out.
Yeah, I'm allowed to do that. It's my prerogative, right?
You are.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get out of jail free card. Guys, nobody has made the board yet. Nobody.
I'm surprised. Like, I thought at least Kick-Ass would have got somebody on the board, or Geiger, one of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing. Well, Geiger, I think everybody had the first print, like the one with like the. Well, you guys probably don't. The explosion on it.
It just proves what I said. People slept on it.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think anybody went for what was that? The second printing that we just had?
Second printing, 1 in 25. There you go.
You know that Transformers is going to the 10th printing?
No surprise. Did you see Void Rivals go to 10th printing? Did you not see those cool covers?
Did Void Rivals go to 10th?
They went to 10. They had so many awesome covers.
I think I kind of just like lost interest, but
that's good.
Maybe
the first printing still money, because I got 2 copies of it. I'll sell one.
Of what? Transformers or Void Rivals?
No, Void Rivals.
Well, it's not crazy money.
Yeah,
if it's double cover, it's better than what you paid for. So there you go. You're in the money.
Can't be too greedy, right?
No.
I didn't realize they were going to the 10th. Like that just blows my mind. And Void went to 10th. I did not know that either. And that was a good series, but I'm surprised it went that far.
Yeah.
All right. So Shaker number 3, we have Kick-Ass number 1, the Steve McNiven variant, the 1 in 10 ratio from 2008. A 9.8 is coming in at a whopping $500. That's pretty incredible. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. What do we have next?
Shaker number 4, Lost Boys number 1. This could be a Halloween cover that gets featured on Instagram this month. For those of you who aren't tracking, all of the lords, or most of the lords, are sharing their favorite Halloween covers throughout the month of October. This is something that TiVo used to do every year. You can find it at hashtag Halloween comic covers, or hashtag Lords of Horror on Instagram. And I've been doing one every day. So far, I've got one every day. And a lot of people are doing the same thing. So please play along. Lost Boys #1 by DC Comics in 2016. The 1987 film Lost Boys has become one of the more popular 80s films while also achieving cult classic stature in the film community. This fan obsession led to reprints of comics featured in the film. We covered it on our September list. And even a DC Vertigo series that began in 2016 and ran for 6 issues. This series has steadily increased in demand and price since its release, and this past week saw a new all-time high in grade for a CGC 9.4 graded copy. This copy sold for $100. And while not close to an all-time high of $200 for a CGC 9.6, it's worth noting due to only being a 9.4. There are raw copies available in near mint condition in the $20 range, with the issue #1 variant available raw for $25 to $30. Raw like my throat right now. Good Lord. These books...
You're doing great.
These books could be worth grading, considering the current selling prices.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so this is like, again, a cult classic. I don't think there's any big surprise to see this pop up, especially during this time of year, right?
Yeah, I actually didn't know that DC printed these because I recall the movie. I watched it much later, like as I was growing up. And I don't know if you saw, I shared the thumbnail to my story. And of course, I used In Excess. You remember In Excess? Come on. How do you not think of In Excess? I could go on forever about In Excess, but the movie itself was kind of comical more than horror, right? Like that's pretty much the vibe to it.
Actually, I found it kind of scary when I was watching this. I was like, "Oh my gosh, he's gonna be a vampire forever now, and he's gonna eat his family." And
yeah, I don't know. I guess because I watched it way after, like this dropped in what 1986, the movie.
Oh my gosh, it was a while ago.
Yeah, so I watched it. I think it was like late 90s, so it already was not standing the test of time. But it's a classic, right? It's fun to watch. For myself, I find it more comical than scary, but yeah, I didn't know DC even did this. So I think what Chris just said, the fact that they're selling for relatively low, raw, like $25. Yeah, I would try to find a mint copy and definitely grade that.
Well, it's interesting that I thought I heard something, so I just Googled it just to make sure I was on track. But there is a reboot of the Lost Boys in the works right now.
Okay.
The director pegged for it is Taika Waititi. I think he and a lot of the same filmmakers from Thor Ragnarok. So we're gonna see another Lost Boys movie come out. Whether it's good or bad. I mean, it could be good, or it could be The Crow. So who knows?
Yeah. Not Brandon Lee the Crow. Every other Crow after that.
Yeah, all the other Crows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they should remake this. It's kind of like I think they were remake the Goonies too, and it's like some things just like leave them alone.
No, but they're bringing the Goonies back. It's not a remake. It's a continuation.
Meaning what? Are they gonna find another map?
I don't know. They're gonna be, from what I'm gathering, they're gonna be older, and time has gonna have passed, and so they're bringing a Goonies 2 type thing, right?
All right, Lando, give me a sequel that you liked better than the original.
Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire.
All right, I'll give you that.
Doc Ock.
Yeah.
I want to say The Godfather. But I can't. I can't.
Back to the Future 2.
Yes, Back to the Future.
Better than what? No way.
I don't know, man.
No.
Yeah.
The Mighty Ducks. D2, baby.
There you go.
Mighty Ducks.
The Mighty Ducks? No.
Yes.
Better than
Emilio Estevez in a dress?
It was fantastic.
Okay, who got that joke? Anybody in the chat?
I would say maybe Toy Story. Maybe.
Yeah, Toy Story 2 was phenomenal.
No, that's like the only one I can think of where I like it better than the original, but I don't know. Okay, well, if you guys are just joining, there's 69 of you in the house. Hey, what's up? Thank you guys for being here and shaking with us on this Thursday. This is shaker number, 4. Shaker number 4. Lost Boys #1 from DC back in 2016 with a top sale for a CGC 9.4 coming in at $100. What do we have next?
All right, shaker number 5, the man with no name. Number 1, I want to do the whistle of Clint Eastwood, but I'm not going to do that. But this
I can't
cover,
whistle. Can't.
Arthur Suydam. Am I saying it right?
Arthur Sudam.
Sudam. Okay, we'll say Sudam.
Sudam.
This is a
Yeah.
zombie variant, as we can see. Dynamite Entertainment 2008. Despite its former popularity, the Western genre fell off a cliff over the years. We've had small injections of creativity into the genre, but typically fans stick with the classics. You can't go wrong with arguably the most classic of all, the good, the bad, and the ugly. From the Dollars trilogy or the Man with No Name trilogy. Dynamite felt the same, greenlighting this series that picked up where the films left off. Featuring the Man with No Name, Dynamite opted to add a little twist by injecting some modern whatever into this variant. For LCS, who ordered 10 copies, they would receive this book featuring a zombified version of the film's most iconic image from Arthur Suda, right? That's what we're saying?
Sudan.
Suda.
Yeah.
They were a little early to the game as zombies hadn't quite made their major comeback with the likes of The Walking Dead and Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare. Red Dead Redemption, so good, by the way, and fell slightly under the radar. A majority of fans never knew this existed, and LCS orders were limited, leaving us with a limited market almost 2 decades later. But there are still fans out there, and one recently secured a near mint copy of this rare variant for $130, a solid jump from the previous high of $110 for a reported no-grade raw copy back in 2010. That sale almost caught up with the highest sale of $139 for a CGC 9.8 in our database from 2023, which is incredible considering there are a whopping 2 copies in that grade on the census and only 7 total copies. Even more so considering cover A is a sub $5 book all day. Fans might be more inclined to search for a copy recently, as there were reports over the summer that this classic film is set for a remake. Whether that comes to pass is a mystery, but in the meantime, one fan secured a zombified version of the most classic images in cinema history. It is such a cool cover. I love this. I love, okay, my dad, typical, Italian, I guess, or just a typical dad born in the 60s. I watched this so young. I shouldn't have. Even The Godfather, like we were talking about before. But I grew up on this, so I love this. I love this cover. I didn't know that there's this zombified version of it as well, so that's neat to see. 1 in 10. I think it's a fair price. 130 is now up there.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Oh, really quickly before you guys keep going, thank you so much to Jabez Creed. Yeah, thank you. We appreciate that super chat so much. And yeah, we're gonna hashtag this King of the Golden State. Modernity.
Modernity.
When we get those super chats, I mean, the last show that I was on was the first time that we ever got one. It was a Tuesday show, and Gabe got it, right? Mike from CoverPrice was on, and he's like, well, that goes directly to Gabe. So Lando, this $5 that goes to you, and that's like $6.25 Canadian, right? So,
yeah.
This is the only. Just so you guys know, we have no expectations of these super chats, but we really appreciate it because none of us are getting paid for this. We do it out of the sheer joy and love for comic books. So thank you so much, Jabez Creed. That's so awesome of you. And you just bought Lando a coffee.
Thank you.
Or half a coffee if he goes to Starbucks. It's like,
yeah. It's a venti.
It's a 1 bottle of maple syrup. Thanks.
Fantastic.
Do they have coffee in Canada?
Oh God, are we doing this again?
I'm not gonna start again. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna do that.
All right, back to this comic. This is an amazing cover. I mean, you immediately know what it is when you look at it. Yeah. There's nothing on there to tell you, oh, this is Clint Eastwood. You just know by looking at it, and it's a special kind of art that can do that. So. Yeah. This is awesome. I didn't know existed. This would be slabbed on my wall if I knew it existed. I'm gonna have to go find one.
Yeah, this is cool. You're right. It captures the body language of Eastwood, so it's like you just know by looking at it by the stance, and that's difficult. You can't do that every day.
Yeah, I
Uh,
love this because, like I said, it reminds me of like my dad type thing, right? I grew up watching this with him, so now I'm gonna be on the hunt for that. So, yeah, cool.
Very cool. The Man with No Name, number 1. This is a zombie variant from Dynamite Entertainment back in 2008 with a raw near mint coming in at $130. There are a few of you that are not only on the board, but you're kind of like killing the board. No surprise that we have King of the Golden State in the running. Who else did I have in here? Weapons X Qual Comics is at 3 and 5. Not bad. What do we have next? Ooh, okay.
So before we do this, we're at the halfway point.
Oh, we are at the halfway point.
Yeah, so I want to do that pack. All right.
There we
So this is pretty cool, guys. Just a very quick like, share, subscribe. Just pretend like you're in line for a Peach Momoko spawn cover and throw some babies to get your in line. Okay. So like, share, and subscribe. You know, treat that bell icon like the baby you're throwing. So I got 2 of these packs, right? 2 of these packs. I got one right here, sealed. Let me show you what I got in the one that was open on the stream. I got a foil.
Chris, you want me to the big camera so they can see better?
Yeah, go ahead.
Make him big.
So a foil version of Blood Hunt number 1, right? And then I got the gold foil, Deadpool Wolverine, right? And then I got my favorite book so far is this Doom cover right here. Which when this was originally revealed, I was like, I can't wait till it comes out in foil. Boom, I got it. This is selling for $100 right now. It's really cool. So
how much?
Do $100 for the regular foil for the Doom. So let's go ahead and open this up. While I'm opening this up,
I'm nervous.
Can you put back up the slides so we can talk about what's available? These 5 books, those are the 5 books available. Each one of these 5 books has 5 treatments. Their standard foil has 1,500 copies. The silver foil has 1,000 copies. The gold foil has 300 copies. The prism foil has 175 copies, and the red foil, which they were calling Marvel Red, has 24 copies.
I panicked watching him cutting that.
Right.
By the way,
can I piggyback on the big one?
Yeah, big, make him move.
All right,
yeah,
so
I want to see.
The other thing I learned when watching these being opened up, you can get multiple hits in a pack. Every slot is a unique chance. So you have 3 comics in here. Every one of them is a unique chance. So there's a possibility you could get 2 red foils in one pack. I saw 3 golds come out of one pack on a stream. So I'll go from the back, front, and I'm only seeing the back.
No way.
Red.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, you're pulling so slow. Come on.
Blood Hunt.
All right. So this is, I believe, the silver variant of Blood Hunt number 1. Silver variant. So that's there's 1,000 of these.
Okay.
Bro, I saw that red. I was thinking.
Yeah, I know, right?
I know. I was too. Okay.
Okay. Book number 2, again, going from the back.
Oh.
Deadpool number 1, silver foil.
Not bad.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
And
right.
there's 1 comic left.
Laura, call it. What are you calling?
I don't know. I don't want to be a part of this. I just want to not watch. This is
Give me a red.
You're gonna get the red foil. You're gonna get the red foil. I can feel it. Right?
I think it's probably going to be a gold. I would love to get a gold Ultimate Spider-Man number 1. I'd like to get any color Ultimate Spider-Man number 1. I'm going to draw this out as long as possible so that Laura pees her pants, because that's what looks like.
This isn't even. I have no skin in the game, and it's driving me nuts. Okay, go ahead.
All right, so it's a silver. Please be Ultimate
Spidey.
Spider-Man.
It's Spidey. It's fucking freaking Spidey.
It is. Let's go. That's not
Look
bad.
at that. 3 silvers in 1 pack. I mean, come on, these are limited to 1,000.
Woo!
It's amazing.
Claim. I'm buying it with my $5 super
That's a
chat.
good pack, right? That's a good
It's
pack.
a very good pack. I'm very happy with this. I was lucky enough to get both of these for 110 each pack. And I convinced the guy, he was a small time streamer. I'm like, hey, let me open it on my show. Well, the show that I'm on. It's not my show. It's CoverPrice's show, but let me open it on the show that I'm on. And he was really cool about it. So
Cool.
there you go. Hey, that's awesome. I
Good
love
job.
doing that. We'll have another opportunity for an unboxing. I got a box from CGC coming back next month. So there'll be a chance there too.
Years, but well done.
All right.
Who's ringing?
I'm just impressed to hear a landline right now.
I know, what the fuck was that noise? It's like hearing the dial-up on the
Sorry
internet.
about
Like, what is that?
So yeah, that was cool. That was fun. All right, let's go on to shaker
All right,
number 5.
Let's keep going.
6.
Oh, my heart's racing. Okay, next up.
All right. Shaker number 6. Now, okay, I have a gripe.
What?
So Rogue is absorbing the dinosaur's powers right now? She's touching his foot.
Yeah.
In a rather impressive way, I'm not gonna lie.
I understand, pretty girl bikini, drawn by good artists and everything, but when you have a character like Rogue, where the slightest brush of skin to skin will cause, all the things that her powers do, why would she ever walk around in a bikini? I mean, she has the kind of powers that somebody would need to wear a burqa to protect.
Yeah, what Chris is trying to say is make it make sense, guys.
No, this makes sense. You got Rogue in a bikini. It makes sense.
All right.
It's enough sense.
Marvel Swimsuit Special number 2 by Marvel Comics in 1993. I don't know if you guys remember the 90s, if you were around back then. But I mean, these Marvel Swimsuit Specials were an annual thing. It was always a thing. They had dudes in Speedos and women in bikinis. And the first one came out in 1992. Then number 2 came out in 1993. The Marvel Swimsuit Special was a unique and lighthearted comic that gave a fun twist to the superhero genre. This one-shot featured Marvel's iconic characters in beachwear, showcasing heroes and villains in humorous and often unexpected scenarios. The concept was both a celebration of the summer and a clever marketing strategy, tapping the popularity of the swimsuit genre in the early 90s. Iconic heroes like Spider-Man, Captain America, and Wolverine were depicted lounging on the beach, engaging in beach games, or simply showing off their summer looks. The special included pinup artwork and cameos from lesser-known characters, adding to the charm and the appeal of this book. The swimsuit special has gained a cult following, remembered fondly for its bold art and lighthearted spirit, providing a nostalgic glimpse into the unique chapter of Marvel's publishing history. Recently, number 2 went for an all-time high of $200 for a CGC 9.8.
Whew. That's not too bad. Oop, sorry. I'm all messed up here.
Mommy. It's a beautiful, beautiful cover. I mean, the swimsuit specials, like, we're seeing that a lot. There's even like Street Fighter right now coming out with like those swimsuit specials, etc. But you can't go wrong. Now that you said that, Chris, I can't, oversee the fact that she's touching the dinosaur. But who cares? She's in a bikini and looks mind-blowing.
Is this true? Are her powers just tied to like human flesh? So if she touches like a dog, she's not gonna get like dog powers?
I don't believe that.
I mean, that sounds logical. I think that makes sense.
If Rogue is down to test it, I'm willing to sacrifice myself.
I'm gonna go against the grain. I don't like this art, not just because it doesn't make sense, but I don't like her face. There are weird things going on with her body proportions that I just can't get over.
It's comic books, man. There's always weird things going on with body proportions.
Yeah,
I see girls that would literally tip over if they were.
And I'm not a fan of that kind of art. So that's personal preference. That's just me.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I think Jim Lee did some of these swimsuit specials back in the day. I remember Anthony and I having a couple of those. So like some big name artists were on these books. So tracking them down and making a collection if you're completionist, it's kind of neat.
I
Yeah, well,
love how
this was 1992 and 93.
93,
So
yeah.
Jim Lee wasn't a huge name yet.
Yeah, Lando, were you born yet?
Oh, here we go. I was born in 89, guys.
Just checking. Want to make sure that you were alive when this
Yeah,
was
but
happening.
I love how the
I don't
whole-
think he was the target audience for this in 1993.
Maybe the
Oh,
dinosaur.
Going picking up booby books off the comic racks.
Yeah, but then like 3 years later, I discovered the Sears catalog bra section, and things changed, guys.
Oh.
TMI, TMI.
But yeah, man, dude, sick cover. I love how the chat's acknowledging and debating the logic behind the dinosaur and Rogue instead of the actual cover. So that's funny.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. I think we're like on a whole. What? I'm just messing with them. Lando and I are friends. We're good. We're good.
Mm-mm.
I think. Marvel Swimsuit Special #2 from 1993. Top sale for CGC 9.8 coming in at $200. What do we have next?
Oh, what's a week without a Spawn book, right? Spawn 220, guys. Todd
Yeah.
McFarlane, Savage Dragon Homage, Sketch 1 in 25 by Image Comics 2012. Spawn variants are all the rage these days, as seen by the long lines at New York Comic Con and possible fighting. To get the newest Peach Momoko variant of issue 357. In reality, Spawn collectors have always had deep pockets and craved the rare variants they needed for their collection. Starting with this issue, Todd McFarlane created an homage depicting various legendary covers, some including homages to this cover that would continue until issue 231. A sketch variant cover accompanied all these issues and has become increasingly rare and valuable, with most being 1 in 25 variants. For issue 220, there was also a 1 in 50 and 1 in 75 sketch variants, which may have affected the value of this 1 in 25 sketch variant. This month saw 2 sales that redefined the market for the Savage Dragon homage, as a graded 9/8 sold for $500 at the beginning of the month, then broke that record by selling for $550 this week.
Whew.
Right?
No
Sketch
shock.
covers aren't as desirable for most collectors, but Spawn collectors, they don't care and are bucking that trend with these homage variants. I saw this book make the Shaker, the Daily Shaker report a few weeks ago, as we just mentioned, and I was like, "Wow, this is very impressive. Big sale, obviously, paying homage to Savage Dragon, and like we said, there was several other homages that came out as of this point and on, and I think this is a neat cover. I'm not a big sketch variant lover.
Me
but
too. Yeah.
Exactly as we just said, Spawn, dude, Spawn. If you really want to be a Spawn completionist, man, you really got to win the lottery, or I don't know what to say. Like it's tough. $550. It was just $500. Like literally, I think 2 weeks ago.
Do you think NYCC played a role in that?
No, I don't think so at all. Spawn collectors are Spawn collectors. They want it, they're gonna buy it, and you see it. They're ready to throw money at what they want for their collection. I'm not shocked to see in such a short span that this took already a $50 jump.
Yeah, it's not surprising, especially for the Spawns in the 150 to 250 range. The issue numbers, those are always hard to find.
Yeah.
So this is cool. It's a nod to another popular artist and comic book. It's Spawn, and you got the Spawn people out there who want to complete them all, but it's impossible. I mean, there are one of one Spawns out there, so good luck.
Yeah, I agree with you. And like, I think NYCC kind of proved that people are willing to do whatever they have to get their hands on these books. So yeah. And I'm with you, Lando. Normally sketch variants just don't hit for me. I mean, I'm trying to think, like, Michael Turner's a good one. Somebody in the chat said that. Frank Cho, maybe because his line works so damn good. But like for the most part, I feel like I just don't get the same oomph without the color. And I know that that's going to divide us here a little bit, but yeah, this is a solid one. So okay, we have Spawn 220, Todd McFarlane, Savage Dragon homage from 2012. As 9.8 coming in at $550, guys. Whew. What do we have next? Oh, real quick, before we move on, there are 85 of you hanging out with us right now. Please give the show a thumbs up and sub the channel if you haven't already. And do me a favor, follow Chris at Dr. Yo-Yo on Instagram and follow Lando Black Crown Comics on Instagram as well. Both these guys deserve the follows. What do we have next?
So we got another nudie book.
Yay.
Shaker number 8, 3-dimensional Alien Worlds number 1 by Pacific Comics in 1984. This is an Arthur Adams cover, or Art Adams, and he's been one of those top artists that get a lot of attention, a lot like Dave Stevens. I'm looking at this, I'm thinking all sorts of things. You got, giant naked woman on a moon with a very phallic looking rocket ship and little tiny men. This is some weird stuff. Now we go back to Art Adams, right? He's been a top artist for nearly 40 years. His work on titles such as Long Shot, Uncanny X-Men, Fantastic Four, etc., cemented Adams' legacy as an icon in the industry. Adams is also noted for being one of the best cover artists in the industry as well. He has steadily been producing excellent cover art for over years, with many of his covers becoming quite collectible and fetching enormous prices in the aftermarket. When many artists gain their own following and collectors, their early work often sees an increase in demand as well. In this case, Adams' first published work was the one-shot titled 3-Dimensional Alien Worlds by Pacific Comics. This book was a long afterthought for many collectors, as Long Shot number 1 was viewed as his first breakout book. But this book did have an all-time high sale this past week, when a CGC 9.6 sold for $100, which honestly is pretty low. This sale further shows that there is demand for the early work of legendary artists and creators in the business. Okay, if this is Art Adams' first work, and that's what it's saying, right? This is Art Adams' first work.
Yeah.
First published work in the one-shot title, 3-Dimensional Alien Worlds by Pacific. $100 for a 9.6, a 1984 comic by an off-brand publisher, Pacific, and a grade in the near mint category. $100 is super cheap.
I agree.
I don't think anybody knows. You wouldn't think this is Art Adams off of looking at it right off the bat.
Yeah, this book should be going for a lot more. King of the Golden State saying it's a Joe Chow cover. So why is this write-up about Art Adams? Is it because it includes his first published work inside?
Yeah, I think it's inside.
Okay.
Yeah, because like you wouldn't look at this and go, okay, that's Art Adams. So maybe that must be it. Must be, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll go with
First
that.
published work of Art Adams, Joe Chow
there we go.
cover. Thank you, King of the Golden State, for keeping us honest, as always, and always in all caps. Thank you.
Hey, we don't know everything, guys. That's kind of part of the hobby, though. You have to like learn and help each other out. And yeah, this one was a little bit misleading with the read there, but yeah, ultimately though, you're still getting Art Adams first. So
yeah, I still think that $100. I think. I mean, what is this? Goes for raw for under $10. Okay. This is the first Art Adams published work for under $10. I mean, everybody on this stream needs to go open up a tab. Don't leave the show, but open up a tab to eBay and go buy these out. And this will be on next week's show again, as raw copies are selling for $75, because Art Adams and Dave Stevens, those are the two artists that you just cannot go wrong with.
Yeah. I agree. Chris, so This book did actually come with 2 pairs of 3D glasses as well, hence the 3-dimensional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If this is in fact his first interior, I couldn't agree more. I was just looking because as you were reading, I was beyond curious. I'm like, hold on, we're looking at a CGC 96 for $100 for something that is, pretty significant given that it's Art Adams' first interior art. And I was thinking, if a 96 is going for $100, I would assume a 98 is going for like double, right? At least double. And just checking now on eBay, the last sale Canadian was $169, so 122 US, so $22 more. You're looking at a 98. I think that's great pricing right there.
That's
Yeah.
insane. That's crazy good pricing. Yeah. I would have guessed what you were saying. A 9.8 would have been at least $50 more, but for 122, that seems like a steal. I
Yeah.
just people don't know. They don't know what they're seeing when they come across this book. So like Chris was saying, hop onto eBay, buy them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch on eBay right now.
They're cheap, man. I'm looking
There
at
are 44 results. I want to see that down to 10 by the end of the night. Come on, guys, get on it.
No, but dude, jokes aside, I'm looking at like mint copies for like they're cheap. You're seeing them at like $20.
Wait, you guys can't be shopping if I'm not shopping. Hold on.
Yeah.
Alien World. Okay, I'll do this later.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is
We'll be
definitely a
gone.
steal. You guys heard it here. Go grab them if you are a fan. So for this shaker, we have 3-dimensional Alien Worlds #1. To clarify, Art Adams did the interior, not the cover, but still his first published work, which makes this insanely undervalued with a CGC 9.6 coming in at $100 from 1984, the year I was born, actually.
Oh,
Yeah, I was like 15 by the time you were.
stop! You got
Okay.
6 years on me, man.
You're just my little Okay, what do we have next, Chris? What do we got? Wait, who's this? Lando.
Yeah, it's
Lando.
actually me. So this is what I was hoping Chris was gonna pull out of that
I
pack,
know,
of course,
me
because
too.
shaker number 9 brings us Ultimate Spider-Man #1, the Marco Cicchetto 2024 New York Comic Con-ish Marvel Whatnot trading pack. Red foil, limited to 24. Now, guys, Marvel has entered the Whatnot game, and they have made a huge splash. It started with X-Men 97 #1 and has now expanded to the big hits of 2024. For those unaware, Whatnot is an application and website where sellers can hold live auctions for just about anything. Collectibles have really found their niche on the site. One of the things that makes Whatnot especially interesting for collectors is the chance at the unknown. Sellers will often sell sealed backs of cards that they then open on the live stream. Marvel started selling blind bags of 3 comics, which featured art from 3 different artists and came in regular trade dressing, virgin foil, and signed foil variants. The foils and autograph comics were the real chases of that set. Recently, Marvel released more of the blind bags with different titles. One of the most sought after beauties was Ultimate Spider-Man, with a limited of only 24 copies for this beautiful red cover. The high demand and overwhelming interest in these blind bag drafts will likely lead to other publishers doing the same thing. Publishers will likely change and adapt the formula to better fit their needs, but it may not be long before many comics are released in a blind bag with an unknown cover. Will consumers change their buying habits to be more like collectible card collectors? Does this shift in interest indicate that covers are more important than the actual story within? All we can do is wait and see. Recently, the super rare red foil variant sold for $1,600 for a raw near mint plus copy.
Damn!
That's a huge damn.
Ooh.
Guys, I was scrolling on Instagram. I saw the sale. Shout out to Mr. Longshort. That's where I saw the sale. I'm like, holy moly, $1,600 for this. Guys, in my honest opinion, in the last God knows how long, I feel like Marco Cicchetto is probably the best at drawing Spider-Man in a long time. This is some great work. I love Cicchetto. The interiors are great, but the there's a few points that we brought up here while talking about this book. One, the shift in gears when it comes to collecting comics, the blind packs. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Personally, I'm not into gimmicks. I said it actually on Tuesday with you, Laura.
Mhm.
But it's, we've seen it before. You remember the Walmart packs when those came out? You didn't know what you were
Yes.
getting. People, I would go to Walmart. People were ripping apart those packs, doing, scummy things, unfortunately. But I did manage to pick up some Walmart packs, and I got some hits, man. I got some like 1 in 50s of certain books, and I was happy. But I think it is a fun concept. Like I said, I'm not the biggest when it comes to these, gimmicks, the foils, the this, the that.
But you
Cool.
like this?
I like it. I actually like this. I think the cover is great. The Whatnot packs changing the game. I don't know. I think most comic collectors are relatively old school. You know what I mean? We want our books. We just want to read them.
Mhm.
But there's always room for growth. And I think if we want to keep the hobby going, keep it more entertaining, engaging, we have to adapt. And change is something that people have a hard time accepting. We'll take music, for example. Van Halen. Everybody hated Sammy Hagar, loved David Lee Roth, but the band continued. Look at Linkin Park right now. Same thing. The hobby, the music continues. The hobby here, comics. I'm okay with evolving. You know what I mean? I think it's a cool concept. I love cards. I collect cards. Literally, I got hockey cards. Like this is what I do, right? So to see the best of both worlds coming together, pretty cool. But is
Do
it
you think we'll see
something?
more of this, Lando, after this huge success? Do you think this
Yeah.
will become like more of a con staple to start having these?
Look, like I said, it for me it doesn't hit. I like seeing it, right? But it's not what I want. What I want is like my books. I'm looking for my key issues, my video game books, my old school books. I like that. I like picking
You
up
have video
weekly
game
books.
variants? I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, I'm a
Yeah.
baby, right? But I go read my books. So this for myself doesn't really jive, but I understand the hype behind it, right? I understand why people enjoyed this, why people
Mhm.
bought them up. Shout out to Whatnot for, coming up with this concept with Marvel. I know everybody points at Whatnot saying this is Whatnot's doing, but guys, Marvel's tied to this just as much as Whatnot is, right? So, um,
If it wasn't Whatnot, it would have been somebody else. You guys have to understand.
exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
They
if
could
they
have done
weren't
this.
using the
They could have
hands,
done
it would
this with eBay. Would we be getting upset at eBay?
no.
So, okay, I've been a collector my whole life. I mean, back in '93, I was on that first wave of kids playing Magic the Gathering. I was one of those nerds. I used to collect baseball cards. I having collectibles gamified in mystery packs is something that is normal for all collectibles. And to see it happen in comics, it's not new. We've seen versions of this in the past.
Yeah.
There were a lot of blind bags happening in the '90s as well. I mean, look at the DC logo books, right? Those were
Mhm.
blind bags.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing. So here you got 3 books, popular books, great covers, great art, limited run. Before the show, I did the math. I mean, you have 5 books, and you have 3 in each pack, and you have a certain number of each variation. And I did the math, and I think I figured it out that there were 5,000 packs in existence. That's a low number. And I think if done like that, it's fine. It's when you get these, there are 100,000 serialized packs, and maybe you'll get one of the 100,000 refractor ratios that then you're getting a little bit too gimmicky. But these small number gamifies around events, I think it's fine. I think it's fine. And exactly. Good point, Chad. It's not really a cash grab if these books have value, and these books do have value. I mean, I pulled 3 silvers out of my $100 pack, I can guarantee you I can probably get $400 for those 3 silvers if I put them up on eBay.
Yeah.
So
and Whatnot's not making that money. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah, I mean, Whatnot made its money. Actually, I take that back. Whatnot didn't make any money. They gave these away to Whatnot sellers. This was a gift to sellers as a promotion, almost like we see publishers do retailer incentives that were one per comic as one comic per store as a gift, right? Same kind of concept.
Yeah, but Chris, like I said, it's not my thing. I'm not for this. You know what I mean? I'm for the hobby evolving, doing new things, trying new, fads, trends, whatever it may be. I'm all for it. But if you don't like it, it's okay. You know what I mean? Nobody's forcing you into buying these things. Now, the print run, I saw that get brought up by 78 points, and I get what you mean. But in reality, the first print, second print, third print, this has so many prints. It doesn't, in my eyes, take away from that. Like, now we have 24 red foil prints. Okay, cool. There's that. The book itself, there's Panini exclusives. We can go on forever when it comes to Ultimate Spider-Man, right? So I don't frown upon it. I'm very mind blown to see that this went for $1,600. Considering there's only 24, I get it. But personally, I would do something different with that money. To each their own.
To each their own. That's a good way to end that. Ultimate Spider-Man #1, Mark Gicchetto, 2024 NYCC, Marvel Whatnot Trading Pack, red foil, limited to 24. We have a raw near mint sale coming in at $1,600. Last shaker of the night. Here we go.
Shaker number 10, we got Vampirella #3 from Image Comics in 2019. This is the Bruce Timm variant, limited to 1,500 copies by Harris Comics. Like the popularity of Dave Stevens, Michael Turner, and more recently Scott Young, fans are increasingly interested in seeking out rare Bruce Timm covers to add to their collection. Many well-known artists have created covers for Vampirella at some point, with Stevens and Turner contributing to Vampirella #1 and Vampirella Strikes #1, respectively. We wouldn't mind Scotty Young's cartoony style on a Vampirella cover in the future also. Returning to this week's shaker, Bruce Timm is best known for his work on Batman the Animated Series, it continues to gain attention for his unique style. One of the most sought-after Vampirella covers from Harris's 27-issue print run is this recent sale of issue #3 for an all-time high of $900 for a CGC 9.8. Mind you, there are 15 copies of this 9.8 grade on the census, with 37 graded copies in existence. However, with a finite number of 1,500 copies printed, there could be a push for those holding any raw copies to take a crack at that coveted high grade. And while other famous Timm covers on Vampirella Monthly #20 has dropped from its all-time high sale of $1,200, Vampirella #3 has steadily increased and nearly doubled for the previous high sale of $500 set 1 year ago.
Okay. It's so great to see him back on the list. I'm a big Bruce Timm fan. I think all of us are. So this is nice. I like to see this. This seems right to me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, Vampirella, we're a week away from Halloween. That reminds me, guys, come back next week. We're going to be in costume. It's going to be a lot of fun. And Laura's going to be dressed as Vampirella.
No.
Yeah.
Oh no,
no.
I'm sorry. I'm dressed as Vampirella. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was the Vamp. I drew that short story.
I can't make it next week.
He's like, I'm gonna be sick next week. Actually, I'm like, I feel it coming, and it's gonna be there. Yeah, Bruce Timm is iconic. This is really cool to see something like this pop up on the list. Dave Stevens kind of felt like peaked, and now he's starting to descend again, which blows my mind because his art's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm excited to see Bruce Timm on the list. I saw this sale over the weekend. It's another book that I was talking about because of the fact that Bruce Timm making the list now, seeing this impressive sale. I love Bruce Timm's work. Batman animated series, guys. Like, I think we are all familiar with such. This is a beautiful Vampirella cover, CGC 98, $900. Yes, this is great.
Alex, we will answer your question in just a minute. Yeah, and this is the time of year where you see Vampirella books selling well on eBay. I just listed the original Vampirella number 1 through 50 on eBay today, actually. And the first 4 are graded. Because I don't need to have them in my collection. I'd rather put that money in other books. But I waited all year until this week because this is the best week for that. So by all means, I'm not surprised to see a Vampirella book on here. This is the week to sell them. This is the week to unload the copies if you had them. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
No, that is not true. I'm not dressing as Vampy. That's not happening. For the record, I'm still debating on what I'm going to be next week. I'm thinking Chewbacca. Yeah, I think I should be Chewbacca. That's what I'm leaning towards right now. That was good, Lando. That was good.
Not bad.
Hey, this is the first. So this is the second show that we've ever gotten super chats. This is the first show that we've gotten 2 super chats. So you want to take that off the screen, Laura, and we'll look at this super chat. That means you have to answer it.
That's right, super chat. That's 2 tonight, guys. Thank you.
Right.
So
a question for Laura.
Yeah, there's 2 ways to approach this. If the packs were offered to you, your LCS, would you buy them and put them up for sale? So there's the collector side of me, and there's also the retailer side of me. And the retailer side is constantly at battle with the collector side because it's a shark tank out here, guys. Being a retailer is tough. It's more loss than you think when it comes to certain books that we publish. A lot of the times we're just freaking lucky to break even. So if I had an opportunity here where when I was like, here, sell these packs, hell yeah, I would do it because it would keep our store going and it would provide us enough revenue to do the next project. Yeah. As a collector, I'm not personally into these. I'm kind of, I don't have any judgment for anybody that does. If that's your thing, I think it does create excitement and whatever. But I just personally, if I had $1,600, I can think of a million things I would do with it aside from this. But to answer your question, if they were offered, yes, I would put them for sale. 100%. And
that's one of the things the good philosophy for small businesses is that you don't pick from your own stash, right? If these are offered to you as a retailer, I think the reputation of selling the packs as intended and not cracking them is more valuable than cracking the packs.
I would definitely do it that way. It would be sealed and people could just, buy them from there. But
I'd rip it open and go for that red Spidey, man. That's the way I would do it.
I'm being honest. Like it's tough. Being an LCS is rough. There's, again, so much competition out there, and it's difficult when the books that you think you're going to hit just don't. But you have to still be able to kind of like fund your next project and pay your employees and all that jazz. So yeah, if I was able to go, okay, yeah, this would be an easy win, I would take it. And for people out there who like these and are willing to pay $1,600, who am I to judge that? If that's what you want to spend your money on, we're all adults. Exactly. Do what you want to with your money.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's a raw book too. I mean, imagine if that's graded.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see what that would go for. Imagine it comes back at 99.
It could. I mean, these are heavy cardstock.
Yeah.
I mean, it's maybe I'll send this one in, see what happens.
Do what you need to do. Like I don't have any judgment. I feel like people are always like, oh, collect what you like, but then they get so mad when people buy stuff that they don't want to buy. Yeah. So it's kind of like,
Yeah. I mean,
anyway,
you spend your money how you want to spend your money. I didn't give you the money. I have nothing to say about how you spend your money.
Basically, it's that mindset, the mindset of like, buy what you like, but only if I like it. That's
right.
It's really
exactly. Yeah, like only buy things that I like, and if you can't justify it, then you're an idiot. So, Chris, you want to see what's shaking today?
So guys, we're gonna do a quick one because I am still running a fever, and the only cure is more cowbell.
Yeah,
So,
I'll get one.
I'm Sharon, Laura. So you should be able
Oh,
to see it.
sorry. I was doing comments. Sorry. I'm here.
All right,
We're
that was a good
ready.
go.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Let's shrink this down.
Let's put you up
There
here.
we
You're
go.
hosting.
Okay.
Have fun.
So for those of you who are new to the show, this is CoverPrice. This is our basically our host for this show. This show is Lords of the Long Box, and Tim, the OG Lord of the Long Box, always had a good deal going with CoverPrice to talk about the articles that they would put out. So this is the source for that. And Matt and Chris and John were kind enough to continue the show on their channel. And this is the website that we're talking about. This is where the articles come from. This is where the data comes from. So one of the things I really like about this is that it tracks your collection. You know what? I cannot resist. I have to look at this right here because I am a kid from the 90s and I love the Ultra Force, and I have no idea why this jumped up 344%. I'm going to have to figure out why. I mean, it's only $4, but this is a quarter bin comic all day. But I mean, I loved the Ultraverse when I was a kid. So I'm going to be looking that up tomorrow when I'm recovering. But one of the reports that you get on a daily basis, multiple times a day, is the Shakers. So let's go to the Shakers list. Now, Shakers, and that's what this show is named after, these are the biggest comic sales of the week. So if you had a comic that sold for a good amount of money, it's going to appear on the Shaker report. And all-time highs also get on Shaker reports. And then just interesting books also get on Shaker reports. So perfect example. Let's see here. Looking for that icon for all-time high. Here we go. See this little green bar right here, top dollar. That indicates that $1,600 is the top sale, and that happened this week for Ultimate Spider-Man #1, and that's that special red foil ratio that I wish I pulled. But the other cool thing about this report is that you get to see comics on here that you didn't really know existed, that you may want to keep an eye out for. For example, Cerberus, #1 from 1977. This is not only a key, and it's not only expensive, it's also extremely rare. And that's what that little gem is for right there.
Yeah.
Here we got G.I. Joe #1, the newsstand variant. I've got a couple of these in direct edition. So it's really cool to see that. 9.8 for $1,300. That's pretty low in my mind for G.I. Joe, the iconic series.
Yeah, and a newsie.
Yeah. And then you also have things that are comic adjacent, right? Like Mad Magazine. Mad #1 from 1952 recently had a raw sale of $1,150. Anything that's in your collection, you get this little box right here above the comics. You can see that I have this Ultimate, this Uncanny X-Men, and I have this Transformers #1. Maybe not in this grade, but I do have them. And if you want to see what's in your collection that's shaking, you can click that button on filter and hit the search, and it'll redo the report. And there you can see everything that is in your collection that's on the Shaker list right now, which means that it has been getting higher sales this week than normal. Now, I have 2 of this Swamp Thing #1.
Did they come back?
They haven't come back yet. They're at CGC right now. I did get a note saying that one of them they didn't feel comfortable pressing. So I have a feeling that's going to come back as like a 4. But I'm okay with that because it's an old comic. And I think I got them in a Goodwill auction for $25. It was a big old collection of comics, and these were just in it. So I'm okay with whatever they come back as.
Yeah.
This is one that I just recently picked up for a couple bucks. And it's a first appearance of Muse. There's a lot of speculation that character is going to be a big thing in the Daredevil streaming show that comes up. Here we have another Dave Stevens cover that I picked up in Pennsylvania just recently. So yeah, lots of interesting things on here. Lots of good reports. Now, if another thing that I really like to do, because finding variants is always a challenge. So what if I want to see the best-selling comics that were variants only? I can do that filter as well. And boom, we have Greg Land's 1 in 25, Edge of Spider-Verse number 2, which
that
is
Turner,
the what?
That Turner is I think it's a German edition or something. Yeah,
German edition variant for Superman Batman number 4. You have the gold ratio, the gold variant for Venom number 1. A reprint of that Turner for San Diego Comic-Con 2017.
Yep.
And then you have all the newsstands and stuff as well. But this is really cool because you see things that you didn't know exist. Like, what is this? Terrifier?
Yeah, number 1.
Number 1
That's
number
horrifying.
1 movie right now, right? It has Chris Jericho in it.
Yeah, the Steve McGuinness, this cover is so sick. The number 1 actually had a very impressive sale there.
Yeah. And then we have this, which just recently came out. I'm so mad that I was not able to get one of these. Anybody in chat who has one of these who wants to trade for some comics, hit me up. I'd be willing to trade any of the comics I just opened for one of these, with the exception of Ultimate Spider-Man. But yeah, so this is a great site. Not only can you look at what's shaking, there are articles on here. They help prepare you for conventions. So if I wanted to get ready for the New York Comic Con, I could have gone to conventions. I could have clicked on New York Comic Con, and it would have told me every single comic that was going to be for sale as an exclusive, down to where it was. So this Absolute Batman was in Artist Alley H40, and I can even look at vendors. And if you would have gone to this and figured out that, oh, I need to go see Laura at Bird City Comics, and she was at booth 3962, hiding underneath the table.
That happened one time for like an hour. Just one time.
Then you would have known. The other thing that this is great for is tracking your collection. Every one of my comics in my personal collection is in here. You can see what's hot, what's a gem, what's a key. You can run reports. You can filter
what, Lando?
By what you've added most recently.
It's
oh, you got to click it.
Oh.
Lando's like, time out, Chris.
My bad.
There you
go. You can see these are all the comics that I just recently added. No, those are recent market sales. Recently added. There we go. That's what I wanted. Yeah. So these are the comics I recently added to my collection. It's a
Tomb Raider.
Yeah. I just picked that up in Pennsylvania.
Nice.
I picked up a 9.6. I think I got it for $50. So, and then there's no slab sales for this one, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's CoverPrice. You know, that's who puts on this this show, and we absolutely love the website. So,
Laura, you're on mute.
I said, well done, Chris. The fact that you just got through that is insanely impressive because I know you're not feeling well. So that's dedication here, folks. We want to be here every Thursday, so you're enjoying it. Before we go, let's do a quick round table. We'll start with Lando.
Guys, like Laura said, thank you so much for being here because, yeah, even not feeling well, the man showed up to talk comics with us. So I appreciate you, Chris. Laura, you know how I feel. I'm always appreciative of you bringing me on, having me here, part of the Shaker crew. But to the chat, thank you guys for rocking with us for an hour and 19 minutes.
I know, yeah.
I was excited to see not many offers. There was very few, guys. A lot of people made the board. We said it at the beginning of the show. But yeah, blessed to be part of this crew. Blessed to see you guys in the chat. If you're catching the replay, comment below. Let us know what you guys thought about the books that made the list. If you feel a certain way about those whatnot packs, whatever, I'm always keeping an eye out on the comments. I'm gonna respond to you guys and
You
keep the
really do.
conversation
You respond
going.
before I do. You're so fast.
No, I'm 3 hours ahead of you. Is the
Oh,
difference. That's really what it
maybe
is.
that's what it is. Like, oh, I never responded. I'm good.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, so I appreciate all of you. And guys, have yourselves a great weekend, because next week we'll be back Thursday doing our thing, shaking it all together.
On
There you go.
Halloween, right? On Halloween. So, guys, here's my
I got my
challenge
outfit.
to you.
I got
I
mine.
want you guys, I think the boys already have their costumes picked. If you wouldn't mind putting a suggestion on what you think I should dress as, I will not do bikinis. I will not do anything like super risque. But if you have any ideas, leave it in the chat and I will consider them, because I am trying to come up with a costume to compete, because Lando's stuff was like legit. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not gonna be able to compete with this guy.
I
Chris,
don't know which one to go with though. I have like 3 costumes ready to go.
I think any of them would be good. Like I saw them, I was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, be here for that. Chris, last words?
Hey, thanks for struggling with me, as it sounds like I'm breathing through a sandpaper bag, but had a good time. Love hanging out. I look forward to this every single week, and every week it just hits the heart. So thank you guys so much. Thanks for hanging out, chat. Thanks for the well wishes. Hopefully I start feeling better soon. Yeah, it's Thursday. Can't wait for the next one.
We'll see you guys next week.
For the entire crew, this is T-Bo saying keep digging in them long boxes. Peace out.